Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We're playing in the Bestiary League as a solo self-found Spectral Shield Throw Juggernaut. And today we're entering Malagaro's Sanctum. I suspect this odd and creepy little area is gonna have a fair number of beasties, because I think there's some scorpions and things that we haven't really seen before outside of this nightmarescape. On the other hand, they could all be just abominations and not count as beasts, so we'll see. It's all a little odd and twisted. So preparing for this, the fight that we're gonna get in the end of the area. Of course, Malagaro is known to use some poison. My poison resistance is currently at -30, as well, where most builds will have it. So I figured, now let's replace one of my two Quicksilver flasks with a Amethyst flask. So we have some extra chaos resistance if I need it, as well as some poison removal. And indeed, they are beasties. So we captured one, we have a scalding one, and we already got the hybrid. Nice. So, are there more variations of the scorpions, or was that it? Ooh, red beastie. Red snake. So just kill the add-ons. So allies regenerate life. That's the reason why I've added a frost bomb to my build as a cast when damage taken trigger. Create a unique dagger. Ooh, we're getting closer to the claws.
Look upon this capture with pride, Exile. You hunt well.
But no, as I said, where is it? Frost bomb here, or on the same link as Tempest Shield with the cast when damage taken and vulnerability. Triggers relatively often, only needs 500 points of damage. And the nice thing about Frost bomb is not the damage. The damage is absolutely abysmal. Especially if you have it with a level 1 cast with damage taken, because then it does 70% less damage than it does by default. But the reason you grab it is because it reduces enemies' life regeneration by, what was it, 75%? Yeah, 75%. If you're playing a cold build, then the 20% cold resistance reduction is also nice, but of course we're pure physical, so that part does not apply here. But especially those red ones, they have a huge life pool. So if they have a health regen going on, they're gonna be pretty difficult to take out, and then the whole timing bit is gonna be difficult. Oh, there is the exit. It's always the last place you look. So Frostbomb is now one of those tools in the arsenal to deal with it. Okay, and again, all the scorpions already look familiar, so no need to capture them. I mean, blue ones, with the exception of the leveling recipes, I don't think I've ever used the blue ones in actual recipes. It's always the yellow ones, like that one.
You have been captured, beast. You will be a survivor.
Oh, nice. Another one. It's a pretty good day for capturing scorpions, apparently. I highly approve of that. I mean, don't really have a lot of them, so actually this might actually have been the first. So getting a nice collection going should help with recipes that require scorpions. Silver Flask, that is for onslaught, also a nice damage bonus actually. At some point it's probably going to be useful for me to replace the final Quicksilver Flask with something like an Onslaught Flask. Because no, we're plenty fast, and especially with the shield charge. Get it? Yes, I got it.
Survivor. You are well prepared.
Especially with shield charge now, you can move around pretty quickly. It's only for the Haku missions where it's annoying because you can't shield charge if you have that ghost on your back. Hello there. Identifying a fan coil. Low level staff, not all that interesting, especially not for this build. This is probably the way forward, so I'm actually just gonna take my time to backtrack a little bit and try and clear more of the area. Oh, see if there are more. There's a rare here, but it's one of those mummy things that's not quite helpful. Actually, there's a decent number of those mummies, huh? And they look mummy-like. Mummy, zombie, something along those lines. Not quite living. Living impaired, I think, was the politically correct way of addressing the undead. Strong boxes. Oh, boy, stop shooting at me. Additional rare item. Oh, hello. Scorpion. Yeah, I have you, stupid beast.
You are captured.
Okay. And take care of the other ones. Oh, behind me. Well, that was an efficient use of resources. 1 transmute in, 2 transmutes out, and some bonuses. And I think I can Tetris this. Yes, I can Tetris this. Wonderful. And this is the point where we're full. So let's portal out. Good thing is, of course, we have multiple portals to get in here. Oh, and that one as well. Then back to the Chamber of Sins. And then the second portal. It's almost like mapping from your hideout. Come to think of it, I actually should have tried if I could map this from my hideout, or if I really need to use the Chamber of Sins for it. I suspect it's tied in with the Chamber of Sins, but you never quite know. Okay, next area, follow the little bridge. This is very much like a nightmare version of the marsh map. Ooh, I spy a ghost. Also, I spy no rares. So the ghost gets it. And there is a doorway to the boss fight. So of course what I'm gonna do is ignore it and check out the rest of the area looking for more beasties. Turns out this area wasn't actually all that large. Great. Maligar's workshop. Hello. So he's got a couple of different attacks, mostly well telegraphed. There indeed we have Black Death, the Mechano Spider. So that attack with the projectiles, the moment he spawns to the things, they are locked in on your position. So if you just shield charge away, you're gonna be okay. A mechano version, well, not really a mechanical version of Fidelitas, because no, you already were kind of mechanized. Behind you, mister. So it turns out that whole chaos resistance thing is not really needed if you just dodge the attacks. Though if he keeps teleporting around, might as well just drink it and tank it. And then he's gone. And Black Venom is mine. And Sin is happy. He swallowed another corrupted soul. Marvelous. Silk is unhappy, but we do get the key. Okay, have a quick chat with Helena. Eramir, a bit surprised. And we get boots. No movement speed, that kind of just discards the boots by default. Oh, could re-roll them in the blood crafting, I suppose, but meh. Okay, rule of thumb here is, of course, now the from the portal center thing here, you take the side with a waypoint and then you just follow it, and then the exit's going to be there. In this case, this is the same instance as we ended on last episode, so we already know this. But if you're loading it fresh, that is useful to know. Okay, there is another trial down here. Or should I say up here? And no, still have my amethyst flask here. I am used to hitting that button for my quicksilver flask. So now, instead of moving faster, I actually just get my resistance up, which might not be the best idea in the world. Not the most helpful, at least. Yeah, see, ink spinners, we already know those. So the exit should be to the top, the trial should be to the left. It's the same as the first time we were here. Minus the boss encounter near the end, of course. Another skill point, that is always useful. So that is more life. Could always use more life. Soul blades. Okay, just crank it all. Or, you know, brute force it. Let's see. Times crank. And another lever back. Well, we just hit him out of habit, not really because it's useful or required. And there we have it.
There is a fine line between
3 trials.
And hesitation. The former is wisdom. The latter is fear.
So I'm level 59, if I remember correctly. The trial itself is level 55, so we are more than ready for it in terms of level. Normally, no, this is a level 52 area, so no, being 52, 53 is normally what you will be. Also, did they messed with the level generation. Sneaky developers. Now I actually need to go and look for it rather than rely on knowing where it was before. Oh, hello there. Physical thorns. Yeah. I see your physical thorns and I'm just completely ignoring them. Plague Wretch, I think you are on the Wraeclast most wanted list. And indeed, he was. And we just leveled, so the gems are leveling. That's always wonderful as well. Cool. So, 2 yellows. Let's see if we can draw them out. Oh, they start close together. See, can I just pull the one? Yeah. Jammer? Oh! Am I? Oh, I was fast enough. That was good. That was a pretty weak spider.
The first ones look upon this capture
No.
with pride, Exile.
Figured this would be okay, but it actually is enraged, so we'll just run away for a little bit. And then we'll just go back. Yeah, the black smoke is no longer coming off of it, so that of course means enrage is gone.
I now will take the captured beast to the menagerie.
Oh, 2 out of 2. That's nice. I've had worse scores with a double yellow mobs. Okay, still no new spiders. Dead end room. What's in this dead end room? Zombies. Okay, so I can just ignore those. If they're not beasties, then I don't really have to care too much. Just looking for the exit here. So next episode is obviously going to be the cruel lab. So we will get our second superpower. Ah, the exit was just over here. Oh, ghosty. A torment attack. Come on. Yes. Give me all your loot. I mean, with speed like this, you don't really need your Quicksilver Flask except for, no, as I said, in Haku missions. But no, you might actually, for just Haku missions, you might just swap in your Quicksilver Flask and not even have it in the default setup. There is, of course, an option there. So this takes us to the den of evil. Well, not quite evil, den of beasties. I'm trying to remember, was there a waypoint here, yes or no? Well, only 17 minutes in, so we're just gonna push forward anyway. Might actually end this just murdering Ralakesh. Okay.
This one is captured. I now will take it.
So it's difficult to make a stone bleed, but we're actually capable of doing it. That's quite an achievement. Hey, hello there. A little friend.
This one is captured. I now will take it.
And they both go to the same level. Yep, cast damage taken in Mortal Call. Please dial it up a notch. 3.66 second duration. I like it. Also, Vaal Corrupted Site Area. That's gonna trigger a prophecy. Monsters have cold resistance. I'm fine with that because I don't do cold damage. But corrupted areas, of course, means chance for capturing corrupted beasties. A skeletal bear. There we are.
Great job, Exile. I now will take the captured beast to the menagerie.
This is a very appropriate lair with these minions. No, we've basically killed all the beasties in Act 2. So now that we are here in Act 7, having all those beasties come back as skeletons is incredibly appropriate. Wonder who the boss is gonna be. It's like the Fleshmith. Ooh, Cintiq. Cintiq the inescapable. Teleportation spider. So we'll just net you, capture you.
The first one
I ask you.
on this capture with pride,
Oh.
Exile.
Prophecy.
And well.
Ever's Colossus.
The Plague Maw.
The Plague Maw. And that was all I really cared about. Cool. Let's do some more inventory Tetris because I know I can. Wonderful. What gem? Sacrifice at dawn. That's not a gem, that's a fragment. The first. Yeah. Too many items to just let them lie there. Let's see. I think that's the very first fragment. Yes, it is. Nice. Oh. And then we go back, we grab all the other items. And what's the level here? I think I was wrong about the nets. I think I could actually just do with another small stack of them. And then we can go back. Hey, great wines. Okay, so we have a bone sculptor that can just die, and then we have a beastie that I want to capture. Which I can do. Oop.
The first ones look upon this capture with pride, exiles.
Rare citron amulet with added physical damage. Okay. That might be useful. Yes. And another beastie. It is another spider. It feels like I've been capturing a lot of spiders recently. Oh, let's capture one of those little bears. I see. Okay. Yeah, vicious parasites, we already have those. And onwards we go. Different kinds of big bears here as well, but it looks like I've already seen them. Hey, regular yellow. So we'll capture you. Call you stupid beast.
You have been captured, beast. You will be a survivor.
3 rares, that is actually one of the nicest spawns you could get. Because of course these rares have a chance to be beasts. And then they have a chance to be captured. Also, I'm just gonna dismiss Einhar, because he's a little in the way. We step to the side and we get 3... Okay, we get golems. Not quite all that helpful. So, we can just murder them. Without caring too much. Let's see, jewelry, might as well just have a quick look. In the white ones you can craft them, so might be useful to just pick up some of those, because I don't think I've replaced my jewelry in too long a time. And mostly one of my rings currently is effectively locked in place because I'm using it to fix my my stats. Got the int index coming from it. Okay. So, you know what? We might actually just go for the boss fight with Ralakesh. Get me another skill point. Get me another god power. Also, none of these beasties look new to me. A lot of monkeys, that's for sure, but hey, you have powers. Okay, let's just throw the trap now. It's a sturdy one. But in the end, you are mine.
Great job, exile. I now will take the captured beast to the menagerie.
Okay, none of these bears are new either, and suddenly there's people everywhere. Okay. Fight with Ralakesh. Let's do this. So one of this... Enthralled Direwolf, I can't capture it, that's too bad. And Raptured Hellion, can't do anything with that either. That's also too bad. Probably would have been a bit cheesy if you could just get some of the additional summons out. But, well, compared to some of the previous fights, my health bar is hardly moving here. Which, I'll say, is how I like it.
Ralakesh,
But no, 53 versus 59. I'm a little over leveled as well.
Turn away the tyrant's face, and kingdom end without a trace.
That rhymes. So this one close. This is new. 25% reduced physical damage over time taken while moving. 25% chance to avoid bleeding. Okay, interesting. We are using, to tie it back to Blood Rage. Blood Rage inflicts 4% of your maximum life per second as physical damage over time. So effectively, the Soul of Ralakesh should reduce that to 3% rather than 4% as long as you are moving. So there is some potential there outside of its working against bleeding. But I think the additional physical damage reduction while standing still works much better for me, much more in my playstyle. So we're just gonna stick with what we have. And then gonna go back to town and get a nice juicy reward for that. A passive skill point. Because what else are they going to give to me? We get increased evasion and armor and life. What is my armor currently like? 6100. Evasion also not too shabby at 550. So if we grab this, also life 2628. That's nearly 100 extra life. Armor wasn't 51, now it's 6600, so that is rather significant. And evasion up a little bit. Evasion is just a nice little bonus. I mean, we have evasion, we have block, so actual attacks almost have no chance of... they have a decent chance of actually just getting pushed away. And after that, there's a fair amount of armor. And of course, endurance charges to mitigate all the damage. So I think we're doing relatively okay here.
There's an Asmeri.
And needed to bring that one. So this is another good point to call at the end of an episode. Next episode, we're gonna do the Cruel Labyrinth and pick ourselves an upgrade. And I must say, I'm really curious to see how Unbreakable is gonna work out. Flat life regen, reduced damage taken, works against all elements, of course. Armor received from body armor is doubled, so 800 suddenly becomes 1600, and then it is multiplied by all the bonuses I'm getting across the tree, so that's gonna be nice. 1.5% of total physical damage prevented from hits in the past 10 seconds is regenerated as life per second. This is new, and this is one of the main reasons I actually went for Juggernaut, just to see what this is gonna work like. I don't think this is not gonna make us truly immortal, but I just want to see what it is like. If I were to go for the for doing more damage, then of course Unyielding would be the thing to pick up. For defense, Unrelenting would be pretty nice. 1% additional physical damage reduction per endurance charge, so you don't mitigate 4, but you mitigate 5% physical damage at 7 charges after we're done. Of course, that is the difference between, well, that's 7% difference. It's going to be not 28, but it's going to be 35% damage mitigation purely from this. But it also stacks with, for example, the 5% reduced damage taken, and there's a bunch of other things. Reduced elemental damage taken while at maximum endurance charges is pretty nice, and the chaos resistance effectively means I can ignore chaos resistance, sort of, kind of, maybe. I mean, you're gonna get 28% chaos resistance just from having max resist, which pushes you to minus 32 if you don't ever pick up any chaos resistance ever, which might actually be enough to get away with it. But I think Unyielding is gonna be useful, and Unbreakable. On the other hand, there's Undeniable, good for damage. If I were to maximize damage, then Undeniable and Unyielding would be the two to go for. But I think at first it's going to be Unbreakable, and after that Undeniable, and then for Merciless I'll go Unyielding. Or for the endgame lab it's going to be Unyielding. But this, the order of things and which specifically to pick, I think most of them are good, exception with Unstoppable. That's something that you probably want to build around. Do some kind of weird self-freezing build that then actually won't be, that will still be able to move or something. But other than that, all the nodes are pretty good. But I just have a fondness for life regen, so I want to grab that one. But for now, I'm going to thank you very much for watching. And hope to see you again next episode in the Cruel Labyrinth. Bye bye.